What's up, guys? NanMan here, and we've got some more action for Modern. We are going to be going through and doing some more commentary. We've been getting together with some of my buddies and just kind of playing, learning, recording how to get into Modern. So today we've got a fun one. It is Death Shadow, Grixis Death Shadow versus Hammer Time. So we'll see how things work out with these players as they go through it. We've played a couple games before, so you can see sitting here explaining some different stuff. So this is not a matchup that you might see as often, but they're fun decks to pilot, fun decks to be able to utilize in Modern. They might not be the most top tier, especially when there's so much, other shenanigans going around with rhinos and things like that, and a lot of people are trying out the domain stuff. So we, using decks that I currently own and have. I'm in the process of finishing up my Rhino list, so that'll start getting added into rotation of decks to be able to see. But we've got a couple other decks to be able to show you guys here. So today we're starting out pretty straightforward, pretty easy. Lantern control, or lantern control, not lantern control. We're seeing Hammer Time starting it out, fetching, shocking. Going to be having a turn one play here, going for the Hollow Fountain. So mine is the blue-white list. So there are some variations and stuff running around, but opting for the Esper Sentinel as the first card to play, which is a great one. It helps get some card advantage, especially when your opponent is going to be casting a lot of spells. So it is something to be able to consider and think about there. So we'll do some thought season, start to strip away some cards, starting at 15 to try to get some threats here. So a second Esper Sentinel is annoying. Basically, he's got all the payoffs without the all the synergies without the payoff. Like he doesn't have a hammer, he doesn't have a Stoneforge Mystic to get it. So it's like I'm pointing out, like, okay, these two are scary cards that I'm worried about. I based on having Grixis, Death Shadow, Pure Steel Paladin, Sigarda's Aid. I picked Sigarda's Aid here because with Grixis Death Shadow, I'm more likely to have creature removal than I am to be able to have enchantment removal. So me stripping away something that is hard for me to interact with is pretty beneficial here for like the first turn. All right. Seachrome Coast into the second Esper Sentinel. We saw it in hand, so we knew that was going to be the case. And that was the top deck there. So normally if you're playing, especially at LGS and stuff like that, it is good idea to sit there on your life total pad to write down the cards that you see. We're doing it casual. We're learning how to play. I'm teaching my buddy how to play Modern, so it was like, let's, nice, easy, casual stuff. The Giver of Runes is tough, right? It starts giving protection and making things a little bit more challenging and harder to deal with here. So I'm in this weird position now. Like I'm already at 11, right? Like the threats aren't that scary yet, but I have to be careful knowing what could be coming. The ability to draw cards. Like I need to be able to start stripping away stuff and progressing my game plan. So if I can get rid of Giver of Runes, it might help me in kind of a battle if I start to need to target stuff and buy me some turns. There we go. Getting things going now. Drawing some cards. Scrying. Yeah, whenever an opponent casts a non-creature spell each turn, draw a card unless that player plays one. Well, now he's going to be drawing 2 cards off of me. So it's like his card advantage is skyrocketing this game. But there's a Lightning Bolt, so let's kill that off. So Grixis Death Shadow, I get access to removal like Lightning Bolt, Fatal Push, things like that to kind of help out, as well as some counter magic and things along those lines here. Really, it's like I'm building up. If I can get a stick of Death Shadow, it'd be great. I needed enough to progress and get set up for the next turn and hope that we have something that can stick here. But Springleaf Drum, the scary part with this is, yes, there are 3 artifacts now out because Esper Sentinel is also an artifact. So there is that kind of like, ooh, okay, if he's going for Pure Steel Paladin, I know that is a possibility that I need to be worried about. in the tank, thinking a little bit of choices here. He's got the Horizon Canopy with a land for turn, so that's why he's going to lose one of his life total, and that's really bad for me. Knowing that he still has the Pure Steel in hand, we do see Stoneforge Mystic allowing him to tutor up an artifact, specifically an equipment card from his deck, and put it on into his hand. He can pay 2 and play it. So first ends up picking Cauldron Complete, which is scary when you're fighting against a creature-based deck. But based on the way things are working, he could just straight up kill me with a hammer. If he's able to play and stick a Pure Steel Paladin and go for that. And so I that's where I kind of go through and I count up and say, hey, you have 3 artifacts right now. So with Pure Steel, you need to have Metalcraft to be able to utilize its ability. So I'm like, hey, both Esper Sentinels and Springleaf Drum count as that. So he goes, oh, okay, let's go for the hammer time here. Cauldron Complete is like a safer, we're going to play slower, we're going to grind it out, where hammer time is like, let's try to close the game out and end things that way. That's the benefit of playing hammer time right now in current modern, is that it does have some speed. The only downside is, like, do you have the speed to keep up with rhinos, where they're like, hey, on turn 3 I'm casting 2 4/4 trample rhinos, which is, it's dangerous. It is a dangerous spot to be in. So he taps, plays the hammer, swings in for 2 off Esper Sentinel, and now it's like I'm down to 9. And so as long as he hits me with something with the hammer, I die. So it's like this turn is the really important turn for me to kind of make that decision and try to respond and react. If I've got removal, it's important for me to try to hold it in case he tries to equip it, right? Like if he's like, okay, I'll try to equip stuff, I can respond and do things like that. If I have counter magic, I can try to counter the Pure Steel and hope that he doesn't have a follow-up with it. Death Shadow is nice coming out now. I have to try to have a blocker, have to try to also have a threat in here. Really, if he doesn't stick his things and just kind of pass turn after it, it's like, all right, then it kind of puts him in an awkward spot. But he's gotten so much advantage off these double Esper Sentinels. So we'll see what is the draw. Urza Saga, very nice. Lets him be able to tutor up for equip or artifacts as well later on. Also, it gets to like make dudes. So I know that the plan is for him to try to stick the Pure Steel. So it's my job to try to see what I can get away with. Oh, he drew a second hammer. Okay. So double white this time. There's the Pure Steel. All right. Drown the Lock here for the counter ability. Not going to worry about destroying it. Let's just make sure it doesn't hit the battlefield. Downside is, hey, I'm casting my first non-creature spell, and I have no way to stop you from drawing 2 extra cards off of this. Games where you have Esper Sentinel out early against a deck that's running a lot of, non-creature spells like Grixis Death Shadow, you're going to feel really great. Now, not every game is going to look like this, but this Esper Sentinel really is the all-star right now in this positioning here. Me fetching and shocking, going down to 6, of course, buffs up the Death Shadow here, making it a little bit easier for me to kind of still have a threat. Now, I've got to hope that in his draws, he doesn't get another Paladin or a Sigarda's Aid or something to basically cause him to win here, right? And he did get the other Pure Steel Paladin off of that. Like, Sigarda's Aid at least would have kept me in it a little bit longer, but now he can just say, okay, I'll clip this for 0, and I'll clip that for 0, and double swing. So even if you block, I'm going wide and you can't stop me. So in that quick flick of cards, if you looked, I had a Teamer Battle Rage there in hand. So I could have swung in and tried to end it with a double strike attack next turn, assuming things worked out well. But couldn't have survived that. So hope you guys enjoyed this. We are going to be continue to do these kind of like game one. Eventually we're going to get into best of threes and show you guys more action. But for now, it's just a little best of ones, little snapshots into what is planned here on the channel. But hope you guys enjoyed the content. Check out some of the other videos that we've got going on the channel as well. But thanks so much for tuning in and watching, and I'll see you all next game.